I've spent hours combing through the list of messages and recordings. I must have gone over it 10 times, and I didn't find any other communications between other council members and Ripley. Rojex had to be the only connection.
Your hunch is correct. Rojex wasn't as careful as he should have been, which works out in our favor.
You found something?
Recorded messages. Rojex was using the defense budget to fund the development of the serum, and was using his connections to locate the brightest minds and best facilities for the task. According to what we found, he had a change of heart when he saw how many citizens were dying as a result of the unethical testing. In that moment, he became a loose end. And leaving the Ace's symbol as a warning led us on a wild goose chase to find out who else was responsible.
And we fell for it. We wasted resources trying to figure it out while Ripley took control of the whole operation using what he was able to glean from Rojex. Not to mention, it left your loyalty in question. When that fake message was intercepted, it looked as though all the pieces had fallen into place. It appeared that you were the phantom culprit lurking in the government. And once again, we fell for it.
Exactly. His victory would have been handed to him on a silver platter. Unfortunately for him, he wasn't familiar enough with Waylick's anatomy to hit anything immediately critical, and I was excellent at playing dead. At least until you arrived and I knew your life was in danger. At that point, I had to give up the ruse and try to warn you.
You very nearly did die, though. You'd bled out so much that the medical team wasn't sure if you were going to make it.
True, but I was content with my fate. I knew my body would be found, and I'd be absolved once the footage from my personal recording device was recovered. And I knew you'd put the pieces together once you found out.
Will this be enough to incriminate Ripley?
Between that and your testimony, plus that of Dr. Endra's team, I don't see any way he comes out of this.
Will my testimony be enough to keep those kids out of prison?
If you and Renegade both attest to the treatment you endured, then I believe so. But Renegade may be incriminating themselves by making a statement. Will they do it?
I can't speak for them, Kajani. You'll have my testimony either way, but don't put their name down yet.
How are they doing?
No worse than they were yesterday, at least. Dr. Endra took them out of the medically induced coma this morning, but they still haven't woken up yet.
Well, if Dr. Endra saw fit to do that, then they must be improving, right?
I don't know. He said that they were able to purge the remaining serum from their system. He could guarantee there wouldn't be any further damage occurring based on the tests that his team was able to do, but we won't know the extent of what already happened until they wake up. If they wake up.
Is that a possibility?
The dose was 3 times what everyone else had gotten, and I think they overdid it when they broke free to help me and to fight Ripley. How did it all go so wrong so fast? One moment we were boarding the ship with Ripley in custody, we were getting medical care, and then they just dropped and started convulsing. I keep seeing it over and over in my head.
Is that why you haven't slept or eaten?
How could I? At least going through all of these documents and messages has kept me busy, helped take my mind off it.
Andromeda. I'm sorry this is taking such a toll on you. When this is all over, I want you to take some time off.
I
know. They haven't woken up yet. There's the trial to consider, your testimony to give. The maintenance on the Zephyr is not done. There's a pile of contracts to take that would make you money. There's a long list of excuses you can come up with. But I'm confident that Renegade will pull through. Ripley will face justice, and those poor children that were in his care will, regardless, be in a safer situation than the one they were in. And I'm not letting you take even a single contract from me until you've taken some time off. So get this through your thick human skull, Andromeda. When this is over, you're going to rest. I'm going to make sure of it.
Okay.
And in the meantime, here's a bit of good news. While your ship itself is still getting upgraded, Z has received some additional cores and memory to bolster her resources, as well as improved remote communications devices. Not just further range, but better encryption. She'll always have a line to government resources for as long as you are employed by me.
She'll be excited about that.
Oh, trust me, she already is.
You've been in communication with her?
I've been spending time on the Zephyr, overseeing her upgrades myself. I've enjoyed talking to her.
Kajani, there's something you should know about Z.
I know, Andromeda. She's too like Kira for me to have missed those uncanny similarities. I knew Kira was gifted, but to see her personality programmed into an AI...
I wanted to tell you. To share it with you. I just didn't know how to bring it up. I didn't know if it would hurt even more. I still have days where she says something Kira used to say and I spend the rest of the day crying in my quarters. I couldn't imagine how much worse it would be for you. Especially since it's just a partial fingerprint. It's not completely her.
I understand. I imagine I would have done the same in your shoes. And to be honest, I think that finding out about it much earlier than this would have been more painful. But she is here now, and I've enjoyed spending time with her. It makes me proud to see that part of Kira lives on, and that a part of her is constantly looking out for the both of us.
Yeah.
I'll leave you alone for now. But no more combing through documents, understood? We've got what we need for the trial. Just rest and finish healing.
Understood. Renegade. He's finally done. He can't hurt anyone else anymore. And his whole plan fell apart because of you. You stopped him. You've got more courage than anyone else I've ever met, you know that? I feel awful asking this because you've already done so much for me, but could you please fight this? Please. Just, you have to be all right. I don't know what I'm gonna do if you're not okay. Please wake up. Renegade? Hey, you're awake. Sorry, I'm so sorry. Did I hurt you? You promise you're just sore. Gods, I was so worried about you. I'm gonna call for Dr. Endra, have him take a look at you. No, he said the moment you wake up, I need to... Are you sure you feel fine? Okay, but if that changes at all, I'm calling him. What? Oh, Renegade, don't worry about me. They're just bruises. They're healing. They'll be completely gone in a couple of weeks. Well, I also had a couple of fractured ribs, and my wrist is broken, but don't worry about me. I'm bandaged up, I'm taking it easy, I'm well on my way to recovery. Don't stress about Ripley. He's locked up and under some of the tightest security this galaxy has ever seen. The trial starts next week. As it is, there's no way he doesn't end up in a maximum security prison for the rest of his life. Well, I'm going to testify, but less about this whole operation and more about how he treats his recruits. I don't want those kids to be in prison for the rest of their lives just because of who raised them. I'm going to tell them about my childhood in the Aces, in hopes that they get at least the same offer that I did. I was hoping you'd say that. Kajani will be glad to hear it too. If we can both show the world that Ripley forced them into criminal acts, then they will have a chance at a normal life. Speaking of our past, about what happened on Centaurus all those years ago. No, I'm not mad. You kept the truth from me. I mean, I do wish you would have told me, but I get why you didn't. My reaction at the time had to be genuine, or Ripley would have figured it out. What do you mean? He was supposed to be where? So you were hoping for a chance to shoot him during the confusion? Oh my gods. You were hoping to take them both out at the same time, weren't you? Ripley and the leader of the Emerald Sons. But he didn't end up delivering me in person, so that plan went to hell. Why did you visit me in prison afterward? He made you? Oh, he wanted you to prove your loyalty to him, didn't he? He wanted to see you rub it in my face so that he would believe your story. Well, it worked. You broke my heart that day. I thought, up until that point, that maybe you had feelings for me too. But those actions made me realize that you didn't. That you were only in it for yourself. And then it dawned on me that I'd likely never see you again. That should have made me happy, given how you had just betrayed me, but it devastated me even more. I was hurt and angry, but I didn't cry until you'd left. And then I cried for hours. The next day, when I was given my choice, I chose the option that would let me get as far away from you as possible. But I never forgot you. And now I'm finding out that you never betrayed me at all. That your intention was to free me from both my fate at the hands of the Emerald Sons and from Ripley. And even though it didn't go as you planned, even though Ripley survived, you still saved my life. Because you did love me all along. Renegade, I don't know what to do with that. I've spent so many years hating you. When you came back into my life and proved yourself, I was fine to move on past it because people make mistakes, people grow and change, but you never made a mistake at all. I was completely unjustified in the way I treated you. When I crashed onto Perseus 7, I was horrible to you. I planned to leave you there. I should have leapt into your arms and held you and told you the truth. That despite all that happened, I never really stopped loving you. I'm so sorry. Can you find it in your heart to forgive me? Thank you. Is it that obvious? Yeah, well, I haven't slept. I was too worried about you. Too wrapped up in my own guilt, too busy combing through documents to help with the trial. I couldn't find it in me to rest. What, up on the bed with you? I don't want to hurt you. Of course I'd be careful, Okay. Only for a little while, all right? I'm still pinging the doctor in a few minutes. Are you still comfortable? Good. Of course I am. You're breathing. Your heart is beating, you're talking, you have your arm around me. How could I be anything but elated? I really thought I was gonna lose you. I know. Kajani is planning on forcing us both to take a vacation when everything is settled. Where would you like to go first? I think that's a great idea. No, I don't have a preference. As long as I'm with you, I am completely content. After all we've endured together, after knowing how much you've done for me, expecting absolutely nothing in return, I'll be completely happy just being by your side. Whatever you want to see, wherever you want to go, we'll make it happen. We never got a chance to see what life would be like for us without the constant threat of death or imprisonment. Now we have our whole lives ahead of us, without anything holding us back. I can't wait to explore the galaxy with you. No, I'm not falling asleep. I'm just resting my eyes.